When you talk about British wrestling to people nowadays, they always say, I remember the days of Big Daddy, I remember the days of Giant Haystacks and all the rest of it. How come they're not on the telly anymore?
How is it the world's became so fucking plastic? People are celebrities for being fucking celebrities. What the fuck is the deal there?
Before I put videos on YouTube, no wrestling companies were interested. Do you know what I mean? Because they never knew my character. My character never came out until I'd done YouTube videos.
Right, so what you're so doing there, you're all hanging the wrong way.
Right, need my double chin?
I need my glasses. Here.
No, higher, please.
Well, I can't see you.
You can see me here, you know?
Well, just...
Right.
What's going on in Hollywood? Who gives a fuck? What's going on? Who drank what? Who slapped whose ass? Who fucking cares? You represent every journalist that puts a fucking story about Jordan or some cunt like that on the front page of a fucking paper when there's cunts dying in the world. You represent everything that's wrong. And you know, that was all fine, that was fucking fine when there was other options, when there was shit for me to watch and shit for me to be entertained by. But now there's not. There's fuck all for me. I'm not meant to have an option. So I created my own fucking option. It's called Insane Championship Wrestling. And I fucking promise you, you will die.
My real name's Graham Stevely, my wrestling name is Grado. I've been a fan of wrestling since I was 12 years old, watching the WWF every Friday night at 10 o'clock, watching Raw, going to my bed, waking up early morning to watch SmackDown on Sky 1. Then when the internet came out, I was always on every wrestling chat rooms, wrestling fan sites, annoying wrestlers on MSN and AOL. I became virtually obsessed. I think when I seen the likes of like The Rock on the WWF, I thought to myself, that guy is the coolest guy on the planet.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome The Rock!
Even just his entrance, the way his character is, how the crowd reacted to him, I want to do that. Christmas 2002, I asked for this wrestling belt. I swear to God, I pestered my mum and dad for a replica wrestling belt for about 3.5 years, and see when I finally got it on Christmas morning, I was greeting and everything. So this is my pride and joy. When they sell that on eBay for loving their money. I used to phone into a wrestling radio show every Saturday night. It was called Wrestling Talk on Talk Sport, and every week I would go on that show and ask a question or do an impression of a wrestler or just kind of talk rubbish about wrestling. And eventually one of the wrestlers on the radio show told me about Scottish Championship Wrestling in Scotland, that they were running a show. So that was when the internet started to kick off. But he told me I was too young, but I kind of kept in contact with him, and eventually I started training with them, and it just kind of went from there.
My name's Mark Dallas. I run Insane Championship Wrestling. We're based in Glasgow, Scotland. Before the world went all reality television, it was MTV and it was Shock TV and it was Jackass, it was Jerry Springer. It was like shock surprises, just fun. I've got a real soft spot in my heart for like the late 90s and the way it was and how TV went so nuts. And maybe because it went so nuts, that's how it's so censored now. But we are not. And as you can see by the fact we got thrown off television, we're not willing to be censored by anyone. There's a couple of characters in ICW that we would consider our characters, like Mikey Whiplash, like Jack Jester.
I'm the big pirate guy. I go to the gym, get bigger, and so do my earrings. I want to be a clown, a tattooist, or a wrestler. And that was the three things I said when I went to my career interview. People say it's seen its heyday, you know, with the likes of Big Daddy and Haystacks, which are the first two names that everybody mentions, but you've got like amazing wrestlers like Johnny Saint, who I had the pleasure of meeting. Still, he was 70 years old, and he was still cartwheeling and head flipping, and you know, just so much knowledge, it's unreal. But like him and Rollerball Rocco and you know, Adrian Street, like Adrian Street, the gay gimmick, the you know, outlandish, kind of almost transvestite.
But I'm a sweet transvestite with a broken nose.
Now, nothing shocks anybody. But back then, to come out there and have lipstick and makeup, it was a brave thing for him to do.
My real name's Michael Gilbert, and I wrestle under the alias of Mikey Whiplash, and I've been a professional wrestler now for almost 13 years. I've got the crowd more or less split, where all the guys are into like their R&B and dance and stuff like that. They're throwing drinks at me, and then on the other side, you've got all like the rock chicks and stuff like that who would try and bloody like jump me and stuff. So it's a weird one.
Grado, I brought in, sat down and we were like, we'll make a documentary about him trying to get booked for ICW. We put it online, it got like 2,000 views, and people just went nuts for it. And then they started doing this campaign saying book Grado, and I went, oh, we're on to a winner here.
Then for mate, just to let you know, June the 3rd, I'm not going to be there, mate.
Oh, how no, man? You know, just come along. How no?
I'm not booked.
Just come along, we'll have a few drinks, we'll hang out after the show.
I'm not involved. Look, and I remember the days, British wrestling days, when we used to be in the locker room and all the old dogs used to sit there in the corner. Hey, old spot!
I get videos of people saying get Grado booked. When I was over in Vegas, I got American guys saying get Grado booked, motherfucker. Do you know what I mean? I went mad. And finally last month I debuted at the garage where I jumped over the guardrails and I ended up getting booked in a match. And the crowd reaction was amazing. So much so that Dallas decided to give me like a title shot against Red Lightning.
I can't believe you've booked Grado in a main event, in a title match. Why? Because he put a video on YouTube? Because he's good, because he's popular on Twitter? What matters to me and what should matter to you is I am your champion. And look what I've got. I have got a strap with no plate on it. Don't go moaning on Twitter. Don't go moaning on Facebook or YouTube. Do something. Do something to grab attention.
Oh, don't I tell you something, right? See Albert Einstein? They called him a baldy lying wee fucker when he came up with ideas for science. They said to the Wright brothers, he's a pair of screwballs when they come up with the idea for flying planes. They said to Steve Jobs, Jobsy, sort of smoking eight doobies, when he said that every house in the world would wind up having a computer. The very same folk that say Grado, he'll never get booked for ICW, never! Well, my dream came true and I was booked for ICW and that match has been signed, me and Red Lightning.
Grado's going to be there, the underdog, the cunt every cunt laughed at, hopefully. No cunt will be laughing anymore at fucking Grado, you fucking cunt.
I remember when I was about 12-year-old, I used to speak to these wrestling journalists on the internet and I would tell them that I was a wrestling journalist and say, oh, I'm a Scottish wrestling journalist, I'm 30-year-old, give me a wrestler's phone number and I'll phone them. I would take my pocket money, right, change it into pound coins and go to a phone box and phone these wrestlers in America. The phone rang and I was like, hi, this is Graham from Scotland, I would like to do an interview with you, is that okay? How do you get my number, bro? I'm a wrestling journalist, I'm just looking to get a few words, is that okay? Dude, don't you phone here again, how do you get my number? And I shat myself and hung up.
The reason why I've never ever been booked on big shows is because of my physique. I mean, I've not exactly got the best wrestling body there is, which kind of annoys me because I hate seeing other wrestlers that look like a bag of shite. My first ever training session was when I was 14 years old, which was about 10 years ago this year. But you would never believe I've had 10 years of wrestling training. If you see me wrestle now, you'd probably think I've been wrestling for about 6 months, do you know what I mean? I would stop wrestling every now and again just because I was like, had a bad match and think, I've stanked that ring out, I never want to do that again. It was embarrassing. And when I was at school, obviously, a lot of people heard that I was training to be a wrestler, and there was some people that thought that was really cool, but there was obviously other folk that thought, that's a lot of shite, that's fake, that's gay. And to be honest with you, you just keep your head up and think to yourself, get yourself to fuck. All people really need to do is go on the internet and find a respectable training school out there that will train you to the highest standard.
My real name is Dominic Hepburn. My alias is the UK Dominator. Now, anybody can get in the ring, anybody can wrestle. But that doesn't make a wrestler, does it? What makes a wrestler? People hating you, people loving you. So facials, you know what I mean? If you want a really evil look, it's like you want to look at somebody, you want to make them hate you for that look, or you want to make them love you for that look. Because if you go out to a ring and you don't give the right persona out there, who's going to take to me? Who's going to boo me? Who's going to really look at me? Nobody.
I am one of the wrestlers' mums, Johnny Sicko. I'm looking forward to it.
On PWA training, Danger Dan, and you have heard?
Get danger zone.
That's it.
Look at the child, you go, is this your mum? Child goes, yeah. And she's as ugly as you, mate. You go on the mic and you turn around and you say to you, I've wrestled all over the world, but I've never seen so many fat, overweight people in one place at one time. You say, I have 3 rules before I start wrestling. My first rule, when I tell you to sit down, you will sit down. What do? They get up. Second rule, when I tell you to shut up, you will shut up. What do? They shout. My third and my final rule, you will show me respect, the respect that I deserve. And if you don't, I don't care if you're a 6-year-old kid or I don't care if you're a 66-year-old old man. I'll come out this ring and I'll smash every one of your faces in. And by that time, you've got them shouting, you've got them screaming. And if that don't work, mate, get out of the business. Simple as that.
So I got myself down to Pretty Boy Walsh, of the ladies love me kind of thing.
Whereas my fitness is probably not as good as most people, I make it up with my character. My character's a lot better than most people. I can go out there and change, and I'm that guy.
Get out of my face now. This one here, he claims job seeker's allowance.
Well, then I'm a security guard.
Where I come from, Kensington, London, we don't look inbred like each and every one of you. You're looking at the future of WWE. And you're going to pay loads of money, get all the girls be kissing some of this, and then I won't have to see your faces ever again.
I think I could be a WWE superstar. I think I've got the gimmick, I've got the aura about me, and I want that lifestyle. I grew up watching wrestling, and I was watching them, and I want to be like them. And so from that age of, like, say, 4, I was mesmerised. Most people say that you should grow out of it, kind of thing. But I looked at it more from the business point of view, saying, I want to do that and make money. You know, these guys are, you know, the celebrities, you know. I've always wanted to be a celebrity. I felt in my whole life, I felt like I'm never going to fit in to a normal 9-to-5 style. And that's my motivation and drive to get out of these kind of shows and get to the next stage. And there's nothing wrong with them, don't get me wrong. I've learned my trade and I'll never forget my roots, but there comes a point where you turn around and say, this ain't for me anymore. I don't want to do the lifestyle of most normal people. I want to leave a legacy, that's what I've always said. You know, I want to be in books that people read in, like, you know, 2,000 years saying this was a professional wrestler back in 2000. You know, just, that's kind of cool to me, and hopefully. You ever seen, I don't know if you've seen The Wrestler, the movie? I sometimes feel like that's going to be me if I fell. And it scares me, mate. Seeing himself living in a trailer, you know, doing drugs kind of thing, you know, to still living a dream in a sports hall with like 20 people.
I watched The Wrestler up until maybe 2/3 of the way through. I'm just like, yeah, I can't watch this, it's kind of awkward. I'd got the long blonde hair at the time and stuff, and I was in the gym and some guy walked in and he goes, you look like Mickey Rourke out The Wrestler. Should I really take that as a compliment, or like, this is the guy who's had like a botched facelift and you're telling me I look like him? It's like, cheers. Looks like I've had a stroke on both sides of my face. Like, when I was doing like 350 shows a year, me and the persona started getting a little bit blurred at times, and I was a complete and utter arsehole. And I can be honest with that, like, people hated my guts. When you've talked to the other guys, they'll probably say a similar thing, like, the wrestler is just an extension of their personality. Every now, obviously, I'm not a transvestite, but
I want some of this promo on the beach. This is my pal Jordan.
Aye.
He films all my promos and edits them and puts them together before we put them on YouTube.
Yeah, I just use my camera phone and some software we got for free on the internet.
So get the fucking phone out and film me. That's your cell! Sport. Just keep going. Maybe wear my bum bag as if it's like my belt.
A belt? Aye.
You remember when you were away and you wanted to grow up and be the biggest sports star in the world? Boxing fans would grow up as fanatics wanting to fight for the heavyweight title in Las Vegas, Nevada. Tennis, you wanted to verse every cunt in Wimbledon, I'm telling you.
Can't say cunt, it's a PG thing.
PG. I do.
Obviously looks better than music at the top of it.
Aye.
But...
Once I get music out, it'll look better. Fuck, I'm cunty. There's a speedboat. It's yourself! I didn't really decide to make it my catchphrase. People just kind of clicked onto it. It's just a kind of quick way of saying, it's yourself. How you doing? Hi. Here's old Jeannie. It's yourself, old Jeannie. How you doing? I don't know, when I shout it's yourself, it's just like something that they can relate to Grado. It's just a kind of sort of like The Rock way he says, if you smell what The Rock's cooking.
What The Rock is cooking!
I mean, he doesn't actually mean The Rock is actually making something for you to smell it. Do you know what I mean? It's just, he's saying it. It's just his catchphrase, and it's just like me. It's yourself.
Good evening, Sudbury! Welcome to Pro Wrestling Eve! Before we start, I just need to check one thing, and that's, are you ready?
It's time ever in wrestling history, twins versus twins. It's Blossoms versus the Owens.
Yeah. Oh, see, they have all cool twin poses and stuff. We like baking and cupcakes and British things. Hannah, Holly.
Yes.
The Blossom twins.
I spent 5 years around the UK and we've just come back from 2 years in America, in Kentucky.
Whoa, you're tagging with the Blossoms? You better believe it, I am. Hey, I want a cupcake. Get away! That's for Team Cupcake only, and tonight, that's us. Ain't that right, ladies?
Yes.
What do you say we go get ready for this match? What do you say? Woohoo!
We've had a few different outfits, and I think when we went over to America, we decided it would be fun to sort of do more of the British thing stuff. I know, people are going to tell you British as soon as you open your mouth, but it was just something as a way of saying this is where we're from, and this is us taking it. Yeah, first time rocking this.
New for this show.
Touch me! I'll punch you in the face, you dirty old git. Dick! What? What? What?
Go on! Go on! Go on! Go on! Mouth closed, knob! If you were that important, the audience be facing you, you ugly knob!
Wrestling fans are probably the most unique fans in the world. There's no question about it.
Come on, wrestle!
1, 2, 3.
It's what I call a physical theatre. It is a performance sport. It is entertaining through the media of getting hurt almost. That's what I love about professional wrestling, because this is going back to the days of Shakespeare when people would come and see this. We just hit people with car doors instead.
When I was younger, there used to be a promotion that came to Irvine, which was just along the road, and there was a women's wrestler on that show called Klondike Kate, and I tell you, she was probably 10 times scarier than any of the men wrestlers that were there. I remember I was watching the wrestling in the crowd with my friends, and I had a bag of popcorn, and I took one bit of popcorn and launched it off Klondike Kate, and the look she gave me haunted me for years.
We're teaching assistants, we're nursery nurses, but it's the contrast at first when people think, oh, you're sweet and you're cute, and then you go and wrestle, and it's like, but their kids absolutely love it, and for the kids at school who go, my teacher's a wrestler, it's kind of fun for them.
Heartbreak twins, that's what it is to be called. They're lovely, aren't they?
Molly, she's my biggest supporter. She watches all my matches. She's got all my DVDs. My dog, she's the biggest fan. Ain't you, Hen? Hands are stinking, man. I thought I used to get called Grado in primary school, right? And then I never ever get called it through secondary school. Then I went on a boys' holiday to Magaluf one year, and on the last night, me and my best mate ended up getting chucked at the hotel.
So we thought, come on, we'll go and get tattoos. So when I went to the tattoo parlour, I said, put Grado on me on, put Grado on me on. The next morning, I woke up, I couldn't believe it. I tried to scratch it off, I thought nobody even calls me Grado. There's nothing worse than somebody having a name tattooed on their arm that nobody even calls them. So I was telling everybody, right, you better all call me Grado now, and it's just kind of clicked on, and now everybody kind of calls me Grado, and it's just worked its way into my wrestling character as well. So a stupid night in Magaluf getting a daft tattoo has actually worked out quite well for me.
My son's been into wrestling since ever I can remember. Just recently we went to the Civic Centre, we went to that, and it was a good night, although I wasn't too pleased because he got a chair over his head and he ended up in A&E, so...
Somehow I managed to hit him with my finishing manoeuvre, the wee boot. We started trending with a click of the button 3 tunes wide. We started trending hashtag wee boots to asses. Wee boots to asses.
Just always been like that. We've always said he's going to be on the stage one day. So there he is, he has got his own wee stage.
Just get my gear. That's my wrestling singlet. I've got my toothbrush in there as well because there's nothing worse than wrestling somebody with bad breath. And I've got my deodorant as well. Eye spray and all, there's nothing worse. That's one of the reasons why you don't like it all, because sometimes you can smell the wrestlers, man. Some of them are stinking, man, honestly. Some of them you just want to say, get a wash. Exactly. Honestly, some of the hygiene in British wrestling, man, gives you the bulk. Let's do this. Come on. Go, Grado, 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 Grado. I'm bringing the title home. I'll bring the title home. Come on. Hello.
Hello, is that you, Grado?
Is that you, Greg?
Aye.
Right, you're live on fucking, you're on a documentary.
I swear to God, Grado, right? See that red line and see if you don't kick his arse tonight. I'm telling you, I'm going to come up and fucking ragdoll him right out of that ring for you, pal. Grado? This is a Grado, David. This is what I'm telling you about. I put that fucking red line right in the ball. Grado, Grado, Grado.
Grado, Grado, you know what I mean?
Grado. Right, into that cunt tonight, by the way.
Aye, I will do. Right, I will do. This is the salt cot where I'm going to be getting my Grado hat off my mate. There's a space to park. Alright. I'm a professional wrestler, you never heard of me, Grado?
Always no crime on UK.
Are you opening back up the Metro?
Aye.
This is the most popular nightclub in Ayrshire. But it's been shut down, but this guy's going to open it back up, isn't he?
Cost me 90 grand.
Is that how much it's going to cost you?
Aye. There's a lot of work needing done inside.
Aye. Here, you want to put on a wrestling show when it opens back up?
Well, I can't promise you, but...
I'll come back down tomorrow morning. Will you speak here tomorrow morning?
I'm here 7 days a week.
Ideal, mate.
I've been here 10 years.
10 years?
Aye.
Right, I'm away anyway, my man, right?
Nervous.
Am I nervous? I'm like that. Check that's it.
That's for him for later. Yeah, you want to just take them now?
How you think I'll need these? Go shout, we want Grado. No. We want Grado. Send it. Let's do this. See the night, what time you want to be there at?
I'm going up about 4.
Right, don't work too hard, mate. See you later. My girlfriend thinks that I think that I'm famous. She's always like, oh, just because you've put up a couple of YouTube videos doesn't mean to say you're the man, you think you're famous. Because I'll say to her, listen, hey, I'm a Z-lister. I'm a Z-list celebrity, by the way, you know what I mean? She's like, ah, gives a break. My girlfriend didn't even tell her family that I done wrestling. She was that affronted, she was embarrassed, mortified. She just didn't like the idea of me in a leotard, jumping about and kidding on fighting, which is fair enough. She hates wrestling. See, like going to Glasgow, it's like going into London for me, do you know what I mean? And this is like, I mean, look at Glasgow now, man, it's like, it's still a buzz when you come into Glasgow. A lot of folk will think, it's so stupid, man, it's Glasgow, but because I live next to the sea and I live in a wee kind of like seaside town, you come to Glasgow, man, it's still a bit of a buzz, do you know what I mean? It's a bit of a buzz.
Well, it's Mark Dallas's birthday, good friends, so everyone's going to get really... I'm the manager of Mikey Whiplash.
She's also a valet, so she comes on and gets dirty. I'm just her fan. I'm the fluffer. That's fluffing. He here it is real, the blood is real, the pain is real, the sexy bits are real. It's making it for real.
Buckfast side and blood.
And balls.
Oh, well.
All about the
and
balls.
Boobs.
Balls and boobs.
Oh. I like this.
ICW attracts the most crazy and the most daring and individual of talents, and we all get together and get sexy and kick the fuck out.
Why are you rubbing my back? You can rub my tits.
My name is Davey Boy.
My name's a wee man,
Stevie Boy. And together we are the Bucky Boys. The gimmick is we're a couple of hard Neds, a couple of cheeky bastards from Glasgow. A Ned is a non-educated delinquent. It's somebody that doesn't really pay attention in school. He more or less gets stoned, fights a lot at the weekends, gets jailed, just basically breaches the peace, causes trouble. The wee man I know, I've got 3 years, so... This was a guy that started to do it, do you know what I mean? Like singing these wee songs, and I loved them, they were amazing. I used to sit there and say, oh fucking, look at this cunt man, it's amazing. I'm going down the town to see if I get lucky, if I can't get above, they'll drink some more bucky, wash it down with a couple of pills. I know the Yankees will cure my ills. It was brilliant, honest to God, one of the best guys to manage.
The Buckfast is a fortified wine, but I think it's because it's so highly caffeinated, that's why folk drink it. It's a right hoose juice. So like, not only does it get you steaming, but it gets you hyper as well.
It's a very known drink in Glasgow. A lot of, you know, your junkies, your alkies, your Neds, they drink it. So Dallas decided because that was your gimmick, was the Neds, he says, you'll be called the Bucky Boys. And we come out with the bottles of Bucky, we drink it, we get mad with it while we wrestle, and that is like the best part about it.
Well, I read somewhere that even though it's brewed by Benedictine monks in Buckfast Abbey in Devon, England, that about 80 or 85% of it gets sent to Scotland. Should be praying to us, not God.
You can do get groofies. Ring rats is the Glasgow version for it. Quasimodo, sloth, you name it.
Not so much bells of the ball as those that ring the bells.
Ring rats sometimes get done. Like Sucky Hall Street down there. Like this place is packing with clunge. It is amazing. The Bucky Boys, that's why all the wrestling is. We'll be in there tomorrow night.
Really?
Right. Well, listen, you're going to go for a drink if you want to come with.
Where are you going?
Wherever we can get in with trackies.
This is how you pull in Glasgow. Tell lassies they're going to see a poster and then you slip a pill in their drink, fuck off.
You got that in camera.
Yeah, we'll fucking believe us now. There you go, look at that.
That's you. That's you. That's actually pretty good.
You see Facebook?
Yeah. Hey, what's your name now? You take it. Will you type our names in and we'll add it? Thank you.
Oh yes. My boy's grown up so fast.
I'm going to fucking shag one of them. Oh! Yeah, wrestling's fake, alright? We represent, like, coming out, having a laugh, smashing people's seeds in, getting drunk, you know. Like, I think a lot of people will like that, so I think that's why when we come out, everybody loves us.
I don't care who you are, what you say, what your background is, everybody was an Ed at one point. You hung up at the park, you smoked dope, you drink, you had a good time with your pals, you had a laugh. I think it just kind of brings back the memories to everybody before you went into your working life and you know you were working the 9 to 5, just doing the same mundane pish every day. All my family were Neds, my brothers and that were all Neds. A training centre opened up literally like 2 minutes from my door and it just kind of gave me something to channel myself to. Like when all my pals were at house parties getting like steaming and pumping birds and all that, I was travelling up and down the country, hear your name getting called, and then all of a sudden the roof just comes off the place and you walk out there and you know that every single person in there's paid a tenner to come and see you do what you love doing. I don't know, it's weird, like you walk out in front of that crowd and I'm not just that boy that came from Paisley, I'm not just an AD, I'm literally like a superstar, if you will. I'm literally living my dream for that 10-15 minutes. But wrestling typically kind of gets a bad name for sort of like all the drink and drugs and all that, but from my personal point of view, it literally saved me for what would have been.
I always say to myself, right, this next match, I'm going to have a beast of a body. I want to look amazing, do you know what I mean? And then I will try at it, I will try and I'll try and I'll try. And then eventually I'll end up going out, getting drunk, hangover for about 3 days, eating an Indian, eating kebabs, and then that's me right off the bandwagon. And then it gets closer to match time and I'm just like that.
Go into Brian's and get myself a cheeseburger, know what I mean?
Right up to the B&Q car park, to the chuck wagon, getting myself some sausage and tight scone doublers, little bit of onions.
It's the best burger van in the whole of Ayrshire, possibly Scotland. They do a mean rolling slice with, do you know what slice is? It's like squared sausage. Come and I'll show you, it's the business. How we diddling, Brian? Brian's seen my YouTube videos, ain't you, Brian?
When Graham first started coming here, he was a 2-stone weakling. Look at him now. He's ready for anything.
This is where I got all my protein. This is where I come, build the body, the wrestling body that I need, you know.
Are you on the night, Graham?
Aye, I'm wrestling at the garage the night in Glasgow.
See that? See when you get that, don't you?
Aye.
Not in bed.
There you go.
You have that. I'm beefing this guy up.
Cheers for that. Tidy. He's the king of the bacon rolls. Nothing better than a roll and square sausage on a Sunday morning before your wrestling match. Yeehaw!
Favourite wrestlers in ICW are Wolfgang, he is the man.
What? Yes, come on.
My name's Wolfgang in the wrestling industry, but I don't think of myself as Wolfgang or this big wrestler. I'm just Barry Young working in the pub.
Wolfgang is probably one of the most underrated wrestlers in the world. He's generally one of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life. You can always go to him for advice. He's somebody that I've become really close to in the last couple of months because I think he's somebody that's actually kind of believed in me. He's always said, look, you're never going to be Batista, you're never going to be Triple H. What you need to work on is just being Grado. Be yourself, because it's entertaining enough. You don't need to be one of these guys that are flipping and flopping all over the place. Just work on being yourself, work on being Grado.
I work here at the La Calabar with my dad. We've ran this place for 5 years. It's a wee typical Glasgow East End pub. I don't want to go to WWE or anything like that. I mean, with this place, it's a normal life. Lucky enough that I get the weekends off to wrestle, but every other day I'm in here. It's a hobby for me, you know, I enjoy doing it, and that's as far as I want to take it.
I was out the backyard being sick. I'm not nervous or anything like that, just must be a bug.
Up until maybe 2 months ago, I was getting "you got teabagged" chants off the crowd because Kid Fight teabagged me during one of the matches and it just stuck. Like, the crowd absolutely loved it.
At the end of the day, I'm in this ring, Wolfgang, Lionheart, I'm there to win. Sure, if we teabag somebody, woohoo, cheap pot.
Oh! It's the big bag ball drop.
People would used to bring hundreds and hundreds of teabags to the ring, and it just showers and showers of teabags. Luckily enough that died down because the ring didn't get cleared and you'd slip all over them. I was getting booed and then I started to get over more with the fans. I don't know what it was that changed, but every so often, every show, there was more and more of them cheering for me. And then the bookers just made the decision to make me be the face and the good guy.
Could we see it? Yes!
In ICW, the fans sort of determine if they don't like you, they'll not cheer for you. If they like you, they'll cheer for you. So rather than the booker saying, right, you're going to be a good guy and you're going to be a bad guy, there's only so much they can do that. So now, all you need to do is come out and smile. That's it.
What can go wrong in a wrestling match? Well, the number one thing you don't want to happen is get yourself injured, and that is always a fear because there are injuries that are happening left, right and centre. You could break your neck technically for taking a clothesline. It's just things like that, you've got to keep yourself safe.
2 bones broken in my ankle and literally had to get gaffer tape and basically tape my ankle up, and had to do that every day for 2 weeks. Pull me groin, cracked ribs, I've got chipped bones floating around in my elbows, smack me in the face, teeth gone. So now everything's like false up there. We'll end up in wheelchairs by the time we're 35.
Obviously split my head open numerous times. Broken my nose 4 times, torn all the muscle fibres in my neck, nerve damage like to there's some fingers I can't feel. Obvious scarring like this here, that was done by a massive oversized corkscrew which I carry about. An endless list. You know, it's a great escape, it really is, to be that different guy. If there's 500 people in the crowd or 50 or 15, the only difference is there's less of them, they still paid the same amount of money, they still want to see the same thing.
Headlining, you know, you fucking prick! Grado! Grado! Grado!
The ICW fans are hardcore fans, they're no stupid. If your match is a bag of shite, they'll tell you your match is a bag of shite. If you make a wrong move, you're going to know about it, they're going to chant, you fucked up, you fucked up. My worst fear would be if I walked into that ring with Red Lightning and there was no crowd reaction. There was no interest in the crowd, there was no chance. That would be gutting. What if people think, oh, who's he, who's this guy? Walks straight into ICW and gets a title shot. If this match with Red Lightning doesn't go well, if I fuck it up and I stink the ring out, that's the end of Grado really, because I mean, ICW is my stage right now. So if this match with Red Lightning goes tits up, then my character's going to go tits up and I'll probably be absolutely distraught.
You are a fucking joke. And just the same as all of those losers, all of those fat, sweaty losers, you are a complete fucking joke.
My name is Red Lightning. Tonight I'm going to be wrestling for the ICW Heavyweight Championship. I'm the current champion and I'm wrestling a guy called Grado. I think Grado's quite funny, but I don't think he's that talented an actual wrestler.
He's going to try and boot my balls and try and get my weaknesses. He's going to try and overpower my weaknesses and try to pin me straight away so he can get up, take his belt and leave and think to himself, that was easy.
I've got a lot of time for professional wrestling and I think ICW is full of knobs like you who ruin it.
And if anybody's got a problem with that, then I suggest you join the very, very long queue.
He was a comedy character years ago. He was always the comedy match at the holiday camps and all that. And we changed him, so he's bitter and he's like, I'm not a joke anymore, I've got the belt, I'm the champ. He's saying I'm a joke, he's saying Grado's a joke. So what I've been saying is, well, Grado reminds me a lot of me, where I was seen as a joke, my company was seen as a joke, nobody's laughing now. So as if we're all behind Grado, and it's just built this amazing, like, emotional story, and it's going to culminate tonight at this show, and it's going to be off the scale.
We've got the old school wave song. It's like do 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 do, and when that song plays, you've got the 8 favourite words we call it. Here we fucking go.
Scottish wrestling is getting better and better by the day. Watch our space. It's going places.
We have became infamous, if not famous yet. We had a match called a Glasgow Street Fight.
Where's that scrawny motherfucker? Grado!
Obviously my nerves are kicking in a bit. I'm looking forward to fighting Red Lightning because Red Lightning's a guy that I first met nearly 10 years ago. I trained with him, but I've never actually wrestled him, so the first time I'm going to be actually wrestling with him is for a title fight. I'll tell you right now, I'm the most nervous wrestler you'll ever meet in your life. I'm nervous, but I'm excited as well. It's a kind of funny feeling, innit? It's a feeling I've never felt before in my actual life, you know? Basically anti-ICW, he's anti the fans, he's just out there for himself. He's no bothered about making fans laugh anymore. He's no bothered about having entertaining matches. All he wants to do is win the gold, and it doesn't matter how well he does it, he's going to do it.
heavyweight champion, so fuck off.
I've went from being a fanboy, standing in the queue, trying to get myself booked. I've tried to get wrestlers' attention. I've then been in the crowd and managed to jump that guardrail, and I was so close to getting in that ICW ring. This is the biggest night of my life.
Sometimes a wrestler doesn't need to be a great wrestler, sometimes it's a story. His story isn't about the actual wrestling ability, his story is about this poor wee guy who everybody says was an outcast, was an underdog, would never make it.
If you just kicked about training or came to shows, you would never have got on this. But he has done something different and good on him because it's paid off. So let's just hope that he can continue being funny and people continue to laugh at him because I know I will.